When you first start your business, no one ever tells you how much money you really need to get up and running. And when your business is up and operational, no one tells you how much you need to keep it going. There is a strategy that successful entrepreneurs know about to get them the product and services they need without a large amount of cash. Stay tuned and we'll talk about it. Hey everybody, it's Tia Robertson. I'm the host of Entrepreneur Insider, and I'm super excited that you joined me for another episode. This is the show that tells you all about entrepreneurs that you need to know about. For those of you that don't know, I started the Black Entrepreneurs Network for several reasons, but one of them is because people always say that entrepreneurs of color or people of color don't have access to the same resources. And that is 100% true. But the reality is there is a lot of information, resources, tips, tools that are out there that we do have access to. We just don't know about them. So that's why I need you to make sure you tune in every week and share. Because today I want to talk about a great strategy that can get you what you need without a lot of money. The reality is that a lot of entrepreneurs don't have a budget. They don't know what a budget is, or they don't know how to expand or increase their budget. Now, don't get me wrong, this doesn't apply to everyone. And if it doesn't apply to you, that's great. But this show is for everyone, whether you know a little bit or a lot. So today we're going to talk about bartering, specifically business bartering. Now, in full disclosure, this is a concept that I'd heard of, but I'd heard of it in a community of people that was a mixed community, and most of the people were not of color. Great people, great information, and I encourage everyone to learn from communities of color as well as other communities. But in this community, people were exchanging products and services for testimonials, for other products. I even entered a bartering relationship with someone to help build my website while I did their social media. Great relationships, but there's a lot of information that you need to know. In addition to what bartering is, you need to know how to enter a relationship, how to have an agreement that's fair to both parties, and more. That's why I'm super excited to introduce you to today's featured entrepreneur. She's the founder of Barter Black, and her community helps specifically entrepreneurs of color with bartering, getting the products and services they need without a lot of dollars, and making sure all of the agreements are fair to both parties. We want everyone to get ahead, right? I'm rooting for everyone Black. Okay, I'm rooting for all people of color. So stay tuned to learn more about bartering and how it can benefit you and your business. Hey everybody, I'm super excited to introduce you to this week's featured entrepreneur. Her name is Nicole Murphy, and she is the founder and CEO of Barter Black. Hey Nicole, how are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
Good. So just so everyone knows a little bit about Nicole, Nicole's own struggles running her small business during the pandemic gave her the inspiration and the need to address the glaring but often ignored market gap that led to the creation of Barter Black. Barter Black connects conscious Black entrepreneurs, allowing them to expand their brand by leveraging their experience and expertise through mutually beneficial barter relationships. Barter Black is set to dismantle the funding obstacles, love that, for Black entrepreneurs across this country. So thank you so much for that bio. Now that's the official bio, right, Nicole? But we're actually going to spend the next few minutes hearing about Barter Black from you. So love the business idea. But before we actually get started, how are you doing today? And welcome to Entrepreneur Insider.
Thank you for having me. And I'm so good today. I'm excited to get started.
Yay, exactly. Okay. So, tell us a little bit about your background prior to founding Barter Black. Have you always been an entrepreneur? I know, like all the rest of us, the pandemic kind of had a crazy effect on your life. But were you working a job? Do you still work a job as you're trying to balance the entrepreneur life?
So before Barter Black, I actually had a short-term property management company in the DC area where we cleaned and managed Airbnb properties. And I have been doing that for 5 years now. But of course, when the pandemic hit, there was no more work. No one was traveling. Business was slow. My clients either sold their homes or took their properties off of Airbnb. Some moved. So I had to figure, something else out. And like you said, my own struggles running my small business, which was my Airbnb management company, is what led me to Barter Black. And I always say Barter Black was birthed in the pandemic because it absolutely was. I saw the struggles that we all were facing in our businesses during the pandemic. So I feel like I'm one of the success stories from the pandemic.
Yeah, I totally understand. Like the pandemic wasn't all bad, right? There's a lot of things that came from it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And it's funny, and I don't know, like, tell me your experience with this, but like it seems like around the time that George Floyd passed away, right? Or got murdered, or however people want to put it. I try not to be political on the show, but
Yeah.
everybody wanted to have a directory. And so there's a ton of Black owned business directories, but it's like, okay, great. Now that I gave you my name and my business name, what is next? Is that kind of how it seemed to you, where you were like, okay, let's do something else? You're like, there's
Yeah, I feel like, now is the best time ever to have a Black owned business, right? Like we're all, woke, and we all want to support each other. But I feel like when it comes to these directories, how do you get people on to actually buy from these businesses? And there's so many directories. How do I know which one to go to? My focus was basically on actually Black businesses contributing to each other's success. So that's how I came up with Barter Black, and I call it a network because it's not you just putting your business on our platform. It's you actually building that relationship and networking with people. So, I feel the same way about directories.
Yeah, and I love it. I really like that you brought up the fact about networking, because I think in our community it's so important to share the value of what networking is and the benefit to our business that a lot of times we don't know. We think like building a business is just kind of putting a social media post and hoping somebody likes your page back, right? And then get mad when they don't, right? So there is so much value in actually building relationships. So that's one of the things I really like about your business as well. Okay, so before I get off on a tangent, let me give you the opportunity to, in your words, tell us, what is Barter Black? What services do you offer to who? And, what are the benefits of connecting with your network?
Yeah, so Barter Black is specifically targeted to Black entrepreneurs. Like I said, we're building a network, and I have three main focuses. One, I wanted to build a platform where no money was exchanged for the services that you needed. Two, I wanted you to be able to get those resources you needed for your business to actually be successful. So many times we jump out there and start businesses and we don't have an accountant, we don't have an attorney, we don't have a website, we don't have any of this because we don't have the money and we don't have the knowledge. And then three, I wanted to make sure that I built that network where we were actually contributing to each other's success. So everyone on the platform is there to barter. So it's not like I always hated when I had my Airbnb management business, when I wanted to, get something for my business, whether it was an account or a website. And the first thing they say is, what's your budget? And I'm like, I don't know. First of all, I don't have a budget. And then two, I don't even know what services like this may cost.
Right.
Right?
Right. So you're
So
kind of
it's
setting
like,
yourself up, right?
yeah, it's like, I don't even know if I can afford you. But so basically, we're creating that network where you can leverage your experience and your expertise,
Yeah.
to get those things that you need. And we want to make sure that they're mutually beneficial as well.
Yeah, I definitely love the concept. I mean, and the reality is, I don't think I've ever heard a company like yours for Black owned businesses.
Yeah.
I have a different background outside of the Black Entrepreneurs Network where I do like VA services. And
Mm-hmm.
let me tell you, they are non Black businesses and they barter all the time
All the
because
time.
yeah, just like you said, they're like, oh, I'm a brand new, VA, or I'm a different country, and I need to get experience. I'm willing to give you this in exchange for that, and I'm like, this is amazing. And not that that's the first time I've heard of bartering, but like I
Right.
said, like for businesses like ours, I think it's an amazing
Yeah.
idea. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so this kind of you've already alluded to it, but just to kind of make it very straightforward for anybody who may be listening that's never heard of the word bartering, what exactly is bartering? What does it mean?
Yeah, so in simplest terms, basically you're exchanging something you have for something someone else has. So, just to give an example, because within my network, I do, you know, connect people together. So recently I connected an accountant with someone who wanted to build out funnels, with their business. So I connected them two together, which I think is going to be an awesome matchup. And
Yeah,
then I always say that bartering does not mean free.
yeah,
Bartering is simply you exchanging a good or service with each other. And when with the Barter Black network, I want people to get on and I want people to barter. I want people to get things that they need for their business, but I want you to also become clients of the people
okay.
who you bartered with. I want you to build those relationships. Like this is not just, oh, I need to get what I want. And then because if you use that person's services and you like them, I mean, why not? We're into circulating dollars. We're creating our own ecosystem, and this is what it's all about. So I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Okay, so what is a common myth? Like, I know sometimes people don't know what bartering is, but on the other hand, you have people that do know, and they're like, oh my God, I'll never barter because of blah, blah, blah. What's a common myth that you hear about bartering that you wish you could like block? And everybody that says it, you're like, no, let me tell you the real truth.
Yeah, so I had this today. Someone's like, I'm not barter. I'm not giving people my stuff for free. Like, no. And that's why I always say every time I speak to someone, it does not mean free. Because another thing that I want people to realize with the Barter Black app is that yes, you may need services, but even if you do not need necessary services and you have all the funds in the world, we're here to support each other. We
Right.
always talk about helping each other out. If there is a business that might need your service, why not, exchange with them to help them move further? Because we
Yeah.
have these we have these things out here, like a lot of people don't have accountants. Like we need accountants on our team, even though we feel like we
Exactly.
don't, we
Yeah.
need that. So I want people to know that it's a two-way street. And I want people to know that this is a way for you to help other businesses. We want to level up everyone. We don't want to just get there and then not come back and help each other.
Absolutely. I love that. Definitely. Okay. Um, do you find that a lot of business owners know what bartering is, or do you have to give a lot of education as part of your process?
Yeah, yeah. So my biggest challenge with launching the app is educating people on bartering, because most people think that it does mean that you're giving away something for free. So I'm trying to get that out of people's heads. So what I did was I built a Facebook group before
Okay.
the app launched. in order for people to get used to the exchange of things. So, and actually, it grew to over 500 people in about a month. So, and then I see people all the time that are in the network, like, who wants to barter for this? And I have this to barter. What do you do? And then I dropped the bartering contract in the group. I think it was this week, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, I used the contract yesterday," and I'm like, "Amazing! This is what I want for us to level up together, and it's the perfect way for us to help each other."
Yeah, I love that. So we'll post the name of your Facebook group, but do you want to go ahead and let everyone know what the name of it is now?
Yeah, it's called the Barter Black Network. So pretty simple on Facebook.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, no, I definitely love that. And I love the fact that you have an agreement, a bartering agreement, because a lot of times, at least I know from my experience, full disclosure, I've entered bartering relationships and they started off pretty equal. And then over time, someone needs either more service or some less service. And then it kind of seems lopsided. And then you're like, wait, why were we doing this again? Or the other thing I've noticed, and I haven't done this, but I see it on Facebook and it drives me crazy. Yeah, I've been in, like, there's a couple women. I haven't seen it in your group, so not so long. I'm in a couple women, business groups, and someone will create a post and they're like, "Hey, let's help each other out. Tell me what you need and what you're willing to help, what you're willing to offer," which to me seems pretty straightforward. But I'll see all these replies that's like, "This is what I do, and this is linked to my page," and I'm like, I'm pretty sure they didn't say do a commercial for your business. I'm pretty sure. So that's why I'm like, okay, sometimes maybe it isn't clear. So I'm glad that, and it doesn't surprise me that you probably have to educate a lot of people based upon those things.
Yeah. And one thing I want to mention too is that I feel like bartering is definitely a way for you to advertise yourself as well. Because I talked to one person the other day and I told her that bartering is a great way for you to get clients. You give them 1 month of your service in exchange for something, and they're not going to go away. They're going to say, I got what I needed from this service and I want to continue on. And then you have a client out of bartering. So just use it as a lead generation.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I've had great experiences. So I totally understand. How do you address the concerns of people that feel like they'll give something but may not receive the same value if they enter in a bartering relationship? Because I know you have a whole community. So do you address that by just kind of reminding them, to communicate in the sense of community, or do you have another way to address any concerns?
Yeah, so especially in the app when we finally launch, I have a list of things that I want you to do when you do agree to barter with someone. And the number one thing is over communicate. You can never, you have to communicate with people. And I want you to exceed expectations as well. So if the deadline is next week, maybe you can get in earlier than next week, because on the app, you can leave reviews for people. So that's a good thing. But I definitely, the bartering agreement is not required, but it's highly suggested. I want you to protect yourself at all costs, because we're basically the network. We're the ones putting you together. But we want you to be responsible in these agreements, just like you would in any other, arrangement, to make sure that things go off the way they're supposed to.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. It's proactive. It sounds like it's very proactive, and that's really what we need in our communities as well. So I applaud you for that. So the next couple questions are more about like the business side of Barter Black. Of course, you're always welcome to share anything about the service side. If you think it pops up.
Okay.
But so from Barter Black to your previous experience running or managing Airbnbs, like, how did you learn what's required to start a business or how to operate a business? Was it just like trial and error? Did you read a book? Did you know somebody? Like, how did you?
It was trial and error and the internet and because I'm a first generational entrepreneur. So I really had no one to, actually go to. Can you help me with this? So everything was trial and error, especially in the Airbnb management company. I had no idea what I was doing, but I did it well, and people, respected it. And most of my clients came from referrals, so I definitely did it well. And like I said, I was doing it for 5 years, so I kind of basically just researched things. But then when I moved on to Barter Black, I was in a whole different space, because it's a weight that's on me, because I'm kind of I feel like Black businesses are dependent on this app, to help them succeed. It's very important, that I'm going to make mistakes, of course, but in September I went to a conference, and I think that was the best thing I ever did. Because I learned a few things from that conference, how important SOPs are.
Okay.
And SOPs can create that generational wealth for your family, because
Great.
you can step away from that business, and if your children want the business, you have that documented where you can leave that to them. I also realized how important a coach was. I never knew that there was a community that could surround me and make sure that Barter Black would go off like
Yeah.
amazing. Like, so I have a community around me now that I can ask questions to, that support me, that are showing up at this event. So we're launching in February,
Yeah.
in February 18th and 19th. So we're launching, and they're showing up at this event to support me. So I feel like, do your research, ask questions, because that's another thing that I have a problem with, is asking questions of people. So ask questions. And a coach is so important when you're doing your business. A coach is super, super important, because they see things that you might not see.
Exactly. And a lot of times, like you said, they see things, but they also know things. They're like, why recreate the wheel when you kind of pick their brain? So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, definitely. I totally agree.
Definitely.
Okay. So you have been able to utilize print media and digital marketing to help promote your brand, which I totally applaud you and commend you for. So have you ever worked with a publicist? And can you tell us a little bit about your marketing strategy? Is it pretty diverse? Some people just focus on social media, or are you still trying to figure it out?
I'm still trying to figure it all out. I'm gonna be completely honest. With Barter Black, like I said, it's totally different from my Airbnb management company, because I could completely do that all by myself. Not really, but I did do it all by myself, and my clients hardly saw me. But this here, I have to be the face of the brand. I can't be, in the background, and they don't know who to trust. Like, I don't know who's, launching this app. So I have to be the face of that. So I have people who have helped me with the funnels, with the marketing, with the copies of everything. So I definitely have people in the background that are helping me.
Yeah, and actually, that's a good segue to my next question is, do you have any tools or special hacks to help you, keep things organized in your business? So it's always, and I'm glad you mentioned, bringing in other professionals that are knowledgeable in those areas, because it's I tell people all the time, why are you spending so much time and energy on something that's not within your wheelhouse? Let somebody else do it so you can focus on what you do, right? So I'm glad that you mentioned that. But in addition to working with other people and other professionals that you trust and are amazing at what they do you have hacks or any special tools or things like that you and I know there's always something new that comes out, so your hack today might be different next week, but right now, anything favorite that you like to use, any software or anything like that?
Yeah, so the crazy thing is, I'm still the one that likes to write everything down. I don't know. I don't know if I'm just crazy or it's just me. But to keep things organized, I definitely create a list every day. I make sure it's at least 5 things so I can scratch it off and feel like I've accomplished something.
Absolutely.
And then also with my calendar, because things are busy. I'm launching this app, and I definitely feel overwhelmed. So on my calendar, what I do is I kind of block off days for particular things.
Yeah.
So I would only have connection calls on one day, or sponsorship calls on another day, or podcast interviews on one day. So I kind of break it up so I'm not too overwhelmed.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Actually, we were just we had like a book club at the end of last year, and that was one of the things that came up was time blocking, and that's something I'm
Mhm.
working on this year. So I'm glad to hear. I'm always like, wait, do you time block? So I'm glad to hear that that's what you do, because I'm like, okay, that's more incentive for me to to do
Yeah.
that. Definitely. That's a great hack. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Yep.
Um, and then I know you actually just kind of mentioned, you do talk to several types of people that are part of your network, interested in your network, sponsoring your network, things like that. Do you participate in any professional organizations? So, for example, I don't know if it seems like there's an organization for everything, but right, you know how there's like accounting organizations and Black MBA associations, there's networking event, are there any, organizations that you're a part of, to gain your own resources and exchange referrals and things like that to help you out?
Yeah, basically right now I'm just using Facebook groups. And early in, I do have a score mentor, so I started off with that. So if anyone is interested, I know I did that before I got a coach, which coach is amazing. But if you want to start out with something or someone to help you, I definitely score is definitely a great place to go to get a mentor to help you, a little bit to push you through.
I love that you mentioned SCORE. That is an amazing organization. So thank you
Yes.
for mentioning that. So definitely I have to make sure I share the post for SCORE down below as well, because it's great.
Yes, yes,
Um,
definitely.
yeah, and they have a lot of free courses and things as well. Okay, so before we end, tell us about your February 22nd app launch, because is everything for Barter Black going to be on an app as well as some things on a website? Or like once you launch the app, is everything just go directly to your app? Or that question kind of came out crazy. Hopefully you understand. You're having a launch on February 22nd. Tell us about the launch and then tell us how we can become part of the bartering network. If that
So,
makes sense.
so the launch is a 2-day event, and it's February 18th and 19th.
Okay. Oh,
Um,
okay. I apologize. Okay.
That's okay. That's okay. So it's a 2-day event, February 18th and 19th. It's an in-person event. So the 18th is going to be a pitch competition, which I'm super excited about. And then Friday is going to be the main event, the Black Carpet Affair. We're going to have the black carpet. You're going to, walk on the black carpet. People are going to be taking photos of you. We're creating an experience here. So we're exclusively launching the Barter Black app at this event. We're going to have speakers, plated dinner, music, and I'm celebrating my 40th birthday.
Oh, happy 40th in
so,
advance.
so yes, yes. So I'm celebrating my birthday, and then I'm also doing at the event meet your match. So we are going to have table settings, and when you purchase your ticket, I asked a few questions to kind of get to know who you are and what you need for your business. So I'm going to be sitting you at a table with people I feel like you need to walk away with those relationships and that network with. So it's definitely a networking event. And the tickets can be purchased at blackcarpetaffair.com.
Okay, perfect. And we'll make
Yeah.
sure we share that down below. If anyone is interested in the pitch competition, do they have to purchase tickets for the entire event, or is that a separate event?
Yes, they have to purchase tickets to the entire event to be included in the pitch competition. And then I also want to note that we are having Precious, the Killer Pitch Master,
Oh, great.
Williams. She is
Okay.
involved in the event as well, and she will be in the house. She's actually hosting a training for people who want to, pitch for the competition. So I am like, ah!
Yeah, she's a very dynamic
Yes,
speaker,
she
personality,
is.
educator. Yeah, I love that. Okay,
Yes,
perfect.
she is.
Yeah. Well,
A
that sounds,
heavy hitter.
yeah, exactly. Perfect word to describe her. Well, yeah, it sounds like you're going to have an amazing event in February. And again, celebrate, it's a good time to celebrate your birthday. Um,
Yes.
and then after that, if anyone has any questions or if anyone is unable to attend the in person event, but they have questions about becoming a part of your network, then they can just email you or go to the website or just download the app. What's the best way to find out more?
Yeah. So if you want to contact me, you can definitely email me at contact us at iBarterBlack or follow me on Instagram at iBarterBlack. But I forgot to mention about the app. So yes, the app is exclusively launched at the event, but everything on the app will be on the website. But the app is to make sure that it's on the go at all times. Like
Yeah.
click, click, click. I need this for my business, and it's a go. So definitely both on the same website and the app. It's the same thing.
Perfect. And we always encourage everyone to follow because social media, is a part of everyone's marketing strategy, most people's marketing
Yes,
strategy. So we always encourage everyone to like and follow and share your information because even if they don't need your bartering services, someone that they know absolutely probably does. So
absolutely.
what social media platforms can we find you on and what's your username?
Yes. So Instagram is iBarterBlack. Facebook is Barter Black. And I just joined Clubhouse today. Well, no, but I just created a club for
Okay.
Barter Black on
Yeah.
Clubhouse today. So you can join the club. It's called Barter Black. So we're pretty much Barter Black throughout all social media platforms.
Okay, perfect. And then on Clubhouse, we need to start looking out for you to start hosting some rooms then, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Right now it's going to be Friday nights, and I'm actually going to do at the end of our events, I'm going to do like a shoot your shot type of fun game where you can shoot your shot to one of the mods to kind of barter to try to barter with them. So I want to make it fun. I want to normalize bartering, and I want to make it fun.
I like that. That does sound fun, and it's very unique as well, which is
Yes,
a way to kind
yes.
of reel people in. Absolutely.
Hmm.
And then before we wrap up, I always like to ask our features because you do have a lot of experience. Which sometimes we don't give ourselves enough credit for how much we do know. But if there was one piece of advice that you would give a brand new entrepreneur of color,
Hmm.
what would you share with them?
I would share. Um, Promote your business no matter what, and um and people that know me always say it's the proximity for me. It's very important for you to be in proximity of people who think like you, because a lot, like you said in the beginning, a lot of us, our families and friends might not support us, but that's because they aren't our target audience.
Absolutely.
um but if you're in the proximity of people who are about their business, who do want to level up, who's looking for the 6, 7, 8 figures, that's what you need to, that's what I would tell a new entrepreneur. You have to put yourself around those type of people, and I'm telling you, it will do wonders for your business.
Absolutely. I agree. Oh my goodness. That was an amazing piece of advice. So thank you so much, Nicole.
Thank
So we
you.
want to wish you well on your launch, your birthday, your network. Definitely, we applaud you for your spirit that you're sharing about bartering and building up our community. We're all about building generational wealth and leaving a positive legacy. So thank you so much for that.
Yes.
Yeah, and I also want to thank you for this time that you spent with me and allowing me to feature you in Barter Black.
Thank you so much for having me. I had such a great time.
Now that you know about business bartering, how willing are you to incorporate bartering into your business operations? Tell me down below. I'd love to hear your feedback. And don't forget to reach out to Nicole at barterblack for more information about her community and her upcoming launch. Now, as always, I encourage you to email me at info@theblackentrepreneursnetwork.com with any questions, with any feedback, if you'd like to be featured or if you'd like to sponsor an upcoming episode. And as always, the show is brought to you in partnership with Relationship Entertainment Television. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already and tune in to their full lineup of positive and engaging programs. Now, until next time, don't forget, be great.
This is Tyron
and Nicole with your weekly RATV news break. Each Thursday at 12 noon Eastern, we'll come to you with the latest news, trends, and more with a positive spin.
We know there's a lot of positive news that doesn't get reported, but we want to give you the opportunity to share your story here on RATV. If you have a positive news story you want us to share, you can submit your story to news@re-tv.net.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Relationship Entertainment Television YouTube channel. Download the new RATV Live app on your mobile device and follow Relationship Entertainment Television on your favorite social media platform.
Don't forget, make sure you tune into the RATV News Break each Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Until then, be blessed and be great.
Growing up in the church, we saw a lot. Things that people refuse to talk about. The elephants in the room. Mental illness, sexual abuse, broken families, domestic violence, and so much more. The Big E, The Elephant in the Room, is a show that sheds light on these topics. We're here to speak about the unspeakable.
Welcome to What's Going On? My name is Demita Joe. Each Wednesday, you can find me here at 3 p.m. I'll be over here discussing different things that are going on and try to bring you a boost of positivity for your week because we all need this. We're going to share some feel-good stories. We might find a hometown hero. We may take a look at some trending topic. And sometimes we might even find a lesson in a not-so-warm and fuzzy story if we can. I'm Demita Joe, and I'll see you guys on the next episode right here on What's Going On?
Hey, it's your girl Tia Robertson. I'm the host of Entrepreneur Insider. Right here on RETV. Every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern for entrepreneurs and news that you need to know about. See you there.